because that's the one that always seems to have been the biggest culprit for causing issues for me. Although I did fly it for about half an hour.
Literally, we're going to be a mosquito to you, you know? So you got a nice, perfect stationary target there to hit with the Hellfire missile. Literally a 1 minute video, stand by. What do you mean? How dare you? How dare you? I ain't gonna poke nothing.
If I could turn around and sort of click on your eye and then your screen goes black.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, there you go. I sent you a link. It's literally 1 minute long. It's a video. Just watch it real quick. It's in Discord. Or PM on Discord. Boy, that berm almost took us out. There may not be a...
red throttle.
We're in a light mode, sorry. Fine.
Yes, I'll be
You have a pen for the back seat.
There's two different sets of buttons. Left action switch.
Yeah.
There's also the left action switch. There is no left action switch. So we've got the same set of buttons.
I got you.
Darn it, they got my engine.
You need a rescue, Bill?
No, I need a field, a nice flat field, really, because my engine's dead. I'm gliding too far away
Well,
to land.
I'll pick you up.
Thank you,
Check
sir.
out Lax.
Oh, it's not even letting me put my gear down. Yes,
Oh,
it
you
is.
want hydraulics?
No, no, it's all right.
Okay.
No, it's all right. It's down. It's down. Oh, trees. What's all these? You'll be able to find me anyway. I'm the big glowing orange thing.
What happened?
Well, you just can't land on the grass in here, in DCS, not really. Especially when you haven't got control with an engine.
You can land on grass.
Nah, well, yeah, alright, you can, I guess, but I'm bad at it. It's like grass is not a runway. You bounce all over the place, and I always nose over.
Have you tried out that channel map?
Channel map. What? Hang on, I can't hear you for a minute. Hold on. That's it. All I could hear was your engine. Channel map. Oh, channel as in the English channel, not as in radio channel or something.
Correct.
Channel map. Yeah, well, I've been on there.
You fly on there a lot or not really?
Because I normally come here. I normally come to the server, so I don't normally get into separate things like that. But yeah, I fly on it. Okay, well, I say I fly on it. I don't make a habit of flying on it, but I have flown on it.
You see the update that they're going to do to that map? They're going to expand it from London to Paris.
That'd be good.
I assume that's going to be, it's going to make a huge,
Yeah.
the biggest map in the game. Who knows?
Yeah, but if they're going to do London, I might be able to fly over where I used to live, mightn't I?
Yeah, it'll have Big Ben. I know that much.
Say again?
It'll have a couple landmarks in it, like Big Ben.
Oh, yeah. We'll see how accurate they are. Actually, FS 2020 is brilliant for that. If you're in an area where you've got the satellite imagery, because it's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
I fly over my local town, and it's exactly as you would see it if you were looking down on Google Earth or Google Streets. It's brilliant in 3D. Excellent. That's really nice.
Yeah, I fly in the new flight sim periodically. There's not a lot of aircraft out for it yet that I generally just feel like buzzing around in. So
yeah,
it'll probably be a couple more years before I play it a lot more.
Yeah.
It'll
I mean, I like to fly my Spit, but the Spit in FS 2020 it's not like this one. It's okay, but there are a few things that are a bit odd. Like you can just, instead of having to push both your starter and booster buttons to start the engine, you can just push one. You know, so it's not as accurate as this would be.
Sure.
And FS 2020 does take a bit more resource, I think, so really that's going to be a good thing for me to try when he crosses his fingers when I get my 3060 graphics card in, when I get it.
3060.
Yeah, that's about as far as I can go.
I just had a local PC company call me today. They're looking to sell me a 3080 Ti.
And will you?
I don't know if I can find a buyer.
What, for your current?
Well, the MSRP of the 3080 Ti EVGA XC3 Ultra whatever is like $13.25 USD.
1325. Oh yeah, that'd hurt a bit more. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at.
To sell it to me for $13.85.
The 3060 here was over 700 quid, which I guess comes to about 850 for you. I guess 850 bucks.
Expensive for a 3060.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculously expensive. So, you know, we're waiting for the prices to come down, and over the past couple of weeks, they have, well, 2 or 3 weeks, the price of the 3060 has come down by about 125 quid, which is significant. If it carries on like that, it might become more purchasable very, reasonably soon.
Yeah, the prices will continue to fall. The 4000 series cards have been announced. The specs are out. the entire 3000 series of cards is complete now. The 3090 Ti is out, and yeah, the price of the 3000 series cards is just going to go down.
That suits me, because a 3060 would, I believe, do my system quite a bit of good. It's the 3060, the one I'm looking at, the one that's been recommended, is the MSI 3060 Gaming X, I think it is, twin fan.
Yeah, that'll be good. You could probably get one used, like a decent one that wasn't used for crypto mining. Probably get a decent one that is used right now on the aftermarket, on eBay or something.
Yeah, I've never felt comfortable about getting electronic items used, because you can't, with a car you can kick its tyres, can't you? You know what I mean? You can feel the steering wheel, but I can't do anything with chips and transistors.
With a video card, I mean, as long as you get one in the next year, it's still going to be under a manufacturer warranty. And if you get it on eBay, if you stress test the card when you get it, you basically have 30 days to make a claim to tell them that something's wrong with the card. So if you buy something like a video card off eBay, like, try to beat the crap out of it, make it cry, and if it holds up and everything, then you can consider it good.
Yeah.
And if there's any other further issues, the person you would talk to would not be the seller. It would be the actual manufacturer of the card.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get all that, but for me, the ideal situation is not to have to go through all that pain in the butt of getting things like that sorted out, getting it back, getting it sorted, getting it returned, all that sort of. I'd rather it just works, even if I don't, hammer it, even if it just works nice and easy, give it a chance. I don't mind that, rather than beat the hell out of it, and if it breaks, have to perhaps check it out with the manufacturer or whatever. I don't want that. I can't face that aggro. So I just want something that works.
Well, if you want something that works for sure, then I would actually I would advise against any 3000 series card.
So what would you advise then?
I would wait till the end of this year when the new 4000 series cards come out, and then get one of the mid to lower end versions of those. The 3000 series cards are absolutely notorious for being the worst made die sets of all time, because they were having major silicone shortages, chip shortages basically, and what they did not have the same QC or quality control that they've had in the past for a lot of these aftermarket manufacturers. So the RMA volume has been at a record high across the board for almost every major manufacturer for the 3000 series card.
Okay, well, that's interesting to know. However,
also, the 4000 series cards will be stronger than the 3000 series cards, but the MSRP will be lower.
But well, what do you mean by low? I mean, give an example that you feel is likely.
Say that again?
What do you think is a likely? You're saying it's going to be lower. Yeah, you're saying it's going to be lower.
Okay. So, like, say the 3060 MSRP was like 450 or 500 USD. The 4060 is supposed to be like 400.
Right, that's interesting. Okay, that is interesting, and maybe that's why the people I've been speaking to are telling me to hang on.
That's literally the main reason why the prices of the video cards are going down now, because everybody knows what the specs are of the new lineup, and they also see the prices. So like, I've been really foaming at the mouth to get a new card. I've waited a year and a half. I could wait another 4 months to get a better card that's more mass produced and more reliable for cheaper.
The other thing though is, can my motherboard take it?
Maybe.
Yeah, it needs to be a
You'd have-
yes.
you'd have to-
That needs to be a
you'd have
yes.
you'd have to, or I would have to do a whatchamacallit test on it, a
Yeah.
compatibility check test on it. So if you give me
Yeah.
your motherboard manufacturer or your model number, I could probably run that for you to see in advance.
That would be quite kind of you. Well, it's an MSI Bravo 450 Gaming Plus Max.
Okay. You'd have to send that to me on Discord when I'm done flying. I can
Oh,
still-
okay. Oh, cool. Sure, yeah. I thought for some reason I thought you'd landed. Oh no, it's not you. I'm looking at a radar thing, and I thought, oh, they've landed.
I'm
Okay.
just hovering right now.
I'll drop that in. Okay, so what's the time now after all that? It's 2:21. Will I fly or is it too late? Didn't even get myself the drink that I promised myself earlier on. Perhaps I'll get a short one instead. Yeah, I'll have a tot of rum. I might AFK for a brief minute.
Okay.
Actually, I think what I might even do, rather than just sitting in the cockpit here, I might F2 into your area and just watch what you guys are doing for a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of holding this for Lax to launch a Hellfire here, hopefully. I see he's got the weapon selected, so I just went level for him.
Okay. That's a pretty mean machine, isn't it? I've never really watched this before.
Oh yeah, those are just the rockets. He's still trying to figure out some of the stuff. But here, I'll use the gun a little bit.
Are you firing backwards?
Yeah.
Right.
Wherever you look, it tries to shoot wherever you're looking.
Okay. Oh, it's infantry you're going for. I couldn't see what it was, what you were shooting at.
Yeah, I don't think they hurt us that much, but they're just kind of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Like, there's a TR in there, so there's one that we got. I'm gonna let Lax here do his thing with the fire. Really, they still fire. Second half. This weekend or early next week, I'm going to be with a guy that, not Diggs, but a guy from the team. Trying to figure out both seats completely with the Apache. So, I'll be able to bring that over here. Figure it out. Gotcha. I did I was doing a mission last night on TTI or Caribbean today. Like they had where they have like live controllers, and then it was like probably 20 people were using the Tomcat last night.
Right.
Pitch black. We launched off the boat. We were basically doing CAP or Combat Air Patrol, and I still don't really know what it was, but something shot us down, and we were in a Tomcat, and whatever shot us down, it was closing at like twice our speed. Could have been a MiG-25. I don't even know what it was, but it was bad. My neck hurt after a while because it's pitch black. and I was just looking at the instruments the whole time, and I was in VR, so I was looking kind of down. It was bad. It was real bad.
I just can't get the laser to move. And I've mapped all the stuff that appears to be getting mentioned.
Okay. I'll figure out what I can figure out in the next couple days here, and I will bring that knowledge to you.
But it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, I get the feeling that it's not. It could be user error, but I'm not gonna judge.
Nice. I can see the thumbstick on the handbrake moving, but the laser is stationary.
Is there like a uncage button or something like that?
Not that's been mentioned. I mean, the only uncage, the closest to an uncage is the weapon, like the trigger cover, for want of a better term. I can't remember what it's called, weapon. Can't remember what it's called.
Safety cover.
It's got very specific wording, but that's effectively what I get the impression it is.
Right.
Trigger bit. That's the closest to a cage on cage that's mentioned. Yeah, okay, so let's do what we're going to do. Right, so I might
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm just going to satisfy myself with a circuit and land, and then I'm going to fold.
On.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Thanks for piloting and then putting up with the amount of time that took to do absolutely.
You made some headway, didn't you?
No,
I feel like
actually,
we made a little
the things that should have been happening just wasn't happening.
Right.
Yeah, so it's when you wake up it'll be sad.
Yep.
It's just
I'm good with anything, yeah. I think I'll leave the Mosquito though, because although I did fly earlier on for about half an hour in the server, in the Mosquito, it seems that when I then tried it a little while ago, that's when it all happened again.
yeah. Alright, well I'll catch you tomorrow night then.
Roger that. Okay. Sleep good. 2TFN.
Alright.
Alright. balls. Okay, I'm going to take off. I'm only going to do it. I've had so much trouble just lately. Actually, I did catch earlier on. It's because I couldn't respond. I didn't have comms, but I did catch about the mem test business. What I did do is took them out, left one in at a time, and it did daft things, regardless of which memory stick was in. But then. I think after the patch that we had, DCS patch, it seemed to improve, and then after that was when I was actually flying the Mosquito around in the server, live streaming and not having any issues. So I didn't get the feeling that it was to do with a memory stick thing. I know I should do the mem test thing, but I haven't got that far yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'd probably just do it anyway. I know if that was me, I mean, just me personally, like, when I have issues like that, like, it eats away at my soul until I figure it out.
Yeah, we see.
Gone through hell trying to get some.
The difference here, sir.
Ironed out.
The difference here, sir, is that you have the knowledge to work it out. I have to poke and hope.
It's mostly just trial and error. I'm just poking around trying to figure it out.
Poke and hope, yeah.
The biggest issue that I've had with my gaming setup is actually, so I have the Reverb G2 VR headset, right? Nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. But the controllers for it, you can still hear me, right? Okay. The controllers for it are absolute dog shit. So I wanted to use better controllers, so the Valve Index, it's more of a top-of-the-line type headset. I like those controllers, and it turns out that there's a way that you can get those controllers to work with a non-native headset. And, I mean, if you saw my desk, you would laugh, because I've got, if you can believe this, I literally have 3 USB hubs for all of this shit going on here. It's a fucking mess.
How many USB slots in each hub?
7.
Oh, good grief! I've only got one hub. I don't use any of it for this.
Idea. I have my microphone plugged in. I have my webcam plugged in. I have my Track IR plugged in. I've got my mouse plugged in. I've got my rudder pedals plugged in. I've got my keyboard plugged in. I've got a Stream Deck plugged in. I don't know if you know what that is. If I didn't say Track IR, there's Track IR here. I've got an Xbox controller receiver. I've got 2 wireless receivers, one for a wireless keyboard, one for a wireless mouse, because when I'm gaming in my gamer chair, I have all that. I use that. I don't reach forward and use my desk. When I'm simming, I should say. I have a USB plug-in for my joystick, a USB plug-in for my throttle. I've got a USB plug-in for my VR headset, which is kind of dumb because it needs one, but God, what else do I have here? I've got 2 dongles, which those are like wireless receivers, and those work with my my controllers for my VR headset.
Oh, right.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Long story short, I did not get to this point by knowing what the hell I'm doing. It's just I looked up what was possible before I bought anything, and then when stuff doesn't work right, like it kills me until I get it right. So I'll just keep trying. I'll try like 30 different things, and it's not that I'm trying them out of memory. I'm just saying, okay, this worked for this person. Let me do that, and I'll eliminate that, and just keep going down the list of what it could be.
You have to be methodical, I suppose. My problem is that I would do stuff, and at the end of it, I think, hang on, did I do that, or did I do this other thing? And if I did the other thing, did I first do something else? I just forget what I've done. I'd have to sit down and write it all down with a check sheet.
Yeah, you do that, or like a Google Doc spreadsheet or something like that.
Yeah, spreadsheet would be better for me. I'm very comfortable with spreadsheets, but I'm just bad at. Because what will happen is I'll do a load of stuff and think, oh, I didn't note it on the spreadsheet. So it's still a losing battle for me because I just get keyed into what I'm doing and don't do enough organisation. I'm better at organising myself with me wood turning, to be honest.
That's fair. That is fair. Well, yeah. If you keep having issues, I would still probably run that mem test, and then. I mean, is it telling you that you have different files going bad each time, or is it the same file?
No
Or does it
idea.
not tell you anything?
No, I don't get any information about what's gone wrong. It just goes wrong. Mainly if I'm in the Mosquito, and that's always been the case. That it seems to be a bit system hungry. In the Mosquito is where I've had issues. And what will happen is that DCS will crash, and I'll look across onto the other monitor and realise that OBS has gone. So I'm not sure which went or which took which with it. Do you know what I mean? So OBS, and then I'll realise that I can't close Discord. I click on the X button to close Discord and nothing happens. Things like that. Earlier on, when I did get a crash once, when I was the second time that I went into the Mosquito and it all went a bit pear-shaped, I then just went to minimise my browser that I had open, and it just closed it. Instead of minimising it, it closed it. All sorts of silly stuff like that. But I don't get...
That sounds like a processor-related issue. Have you ever looked at your CPU loads and temperatures while you're simming in the Mosquito and also trying to stream it?
Yeah, my temperatures are good anyway. I mean...
What is the load? What is the load on the CPU?
I don't know what the load is right now, but I can tell you the temperature is just 22 degrees.
Okay. Temperature, I mean, temperature is not necessarily crucial. You're not overheating it. But, I mean, are you streaming right now and you're flying?
Yep. Well, I'm streaming and I've got the engine running sitting on the runway.
Okay.
That's good enough, I would think.
And what is your CPU load then? If you open up, like, your task manager.
Hold on.
And then go to performance.
Right, CPU 26%.
Really? Go
Yeah.
down the list.
How do you mean
Give me-
down the list?
Give me percentages. CPU, memory.
Oh right, okay. CPU 25, memory 12.6, disk 00000. That's because I've
And
got a
then
number
GPU?
of disk. Hang on, why can't I see? Oh, GPU is at the bottom, 83. But I expect that to be higher anyway because that is my bottleneck. That's my weak link.
What's the percentage of the memory being used there?
Percentage of memory currently... Oh, sorry, I read the wrong figure. 79%.
79%. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nothing glances or nothing. Excuse me, nothing pops out to me there, unfortunately.
No. It's to me. It all seemed to kick off when I started using the Mosquito. So to me, it's like it's for my machine. It's related to the Mosquito to me. That's why I'm afraid to fly it now.
Well, that's a damn shame.
Yeah, I mean, I flew it earlier on for about half an hour. Live streamed it, no problem. So I
Well, the
don't
people
know.
that when I looked it up, the people that are having this clientist tainted issues, they have reported that they've also like been on the server and flying for anywhere between 20 to 40 minutes, and then they just randomly get a crash.
Yeah. That's sort of. I mean, for very often for me in the Mosquito, I'll spawn in, and it looks fine, and I look around, and it's fine, and I look around again, and it freezes. it gets stuck. So whether it's because I'm looking around and it's giving something more to do, or whether it's just the looking around highlights the fact that it's frozen, I'm not sure.
I do not know, comrade. I do not know.
I'll stick to wood turning, shall I? I tell you what, do you know what a cryptex is?
Cryptex?
Yep.
I don't think so.
Okay, you seen the Da Vinci Code?
I did a long time ago. I think when it
Oh.
first came out. I don't remember much about it other than Tom Hanks having a mullet.
Yeah, me too, neither. But at the end, somewhere near the end of Da Vinci Code appears a cryptex, and a cryptex is basically a cylindrical object with a tube that you can pull out. Once it's a bit like a combination lock for your bike that you might chain it to the railing with. It's a tube that's got tumblers on it. You turn the tumblers to get the right characters, and then you can pull out the tube, and the tube contains a secret or whatever, secret information. Yes, that's it. So it contains that. Well, normally they're made of metal, and with metal, of course, I used to think I preferred working with metal because it's precision. You use a metal lathe, you just turn a wheel a little bit and you cut 1/1000 of an inch, easily. You can do that easily. Not so when you're working in wood. For me, instead of like turning a precision wheel and cutting 1/1000 of an inch, I'm holding a chisel against a spinning chunk of wood. It's much more difficult to get precision, but precision is needed to make a cryptex. But so anyway, I made that. So the cryptex comprises like a couple of tubes that slide inside each other, and 4 tumblers that you have to line up in the right way before you can open it. And that was quite a project. I was so pleased with it. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to bore you with my 2-minute video of that that tells you about it and shows you the one that I made, because I was quite pleased with that. So that's one thing I feel comfortable with when it comes to knowing about computers. I know probably more than perhaps some people, but a lot of the time the terminology trips me over, and the concepts sometimes trip me over. So for me to try and get my head around some of this stuff, it's just not going to happen. So when I get all these crashes, when I was getting all these crashes, and I basically didn't fly for a week because it was just no point in trying. It crashed every time. So when I get all that, I don't know really where to start.
Well, just for starters, you should never put up with it crashing. A computer doesn't normally crash unless it's, having an issue. Like this.
No.
It's not how things run, and it's not how it's supposed to be. So you can narrow it down, obviously, to hardware or software from there. But
Yeah, no, the thing is, I mean, it was the only time I got any issues with the computer was when I flew in DCS, and normally when I was live streaming on the server in the Mosquito. That's the only time that I got an issue. Sometimes it happened if I flew the Spitfire. For a while, it was any time I tried to go, for a few days, any time I tried to go into any mission, the quick action things, they were okay, but if I tried to go into a mission, it would like just crash trying to get into the mission, trying to load it. And then once I got the new patch, that seemed to ease things up quite a bit. But I'm still not convinced that I'm all completely back to normal, although I thought I was the other day when I flew yesterday when I flew the Mosquito and live streamed it on from the server. I thought I was back to normal, but almost like sometimes it makes me think, is there something that's building up? So it works okay for a while, and then some cache builds up and overflows.
Yeah. And that could be a RAM thing as well, where it's just not clearing it out.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like that because sometimes I think, oh, great, it's working now, and then later on it all falls over.
Yeah, well,
Oh well,
just win the lottery, Bill.
that's a good idea. Now, why didn't I think of that?
A 10,000 pound PC build, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, just a 3060 at the moment would be good. It would take away the known bottleneck that I have, so that would be good. That's
Yeah.
probably all. I mean, I'm not that ambitious with it. I'm not even worried about VR, to be honest. Not really
Well,
worried about
3060 would
that.
be able to run VR.
3060 what? Sorry.
A 3060 would be able to run DCS and DC in VR. You would
Oh
actually
yeah,
be able to do that.
yeah. But I'm not bothered about that. I mean, my head tracking that I've got now is sufficient for me. You know, you learn to deal with what you have, don't you? And to some extent, that's also true with this 1050 Ti that I've got. But if I get the 3060 Ti, that's going to make things a whole lot better. I feel pretty sure. I'm going to
You know,
find.
the Royal Air Force would be pretty upset with you about wasting fuel like this on the ground, sir.
I'll tell you what, the ground crew will be pretty upset because it must be choking the engine up with coke.
Probably.
Actually, I don't know if you know. Well, you probably won't because you won't have done this. You would have been flying. There's been a time or two where I've sat, as I am now, on the runway with the engine running. Then after a while, I've got the throttle up and it's really reluctant. Really reluctant. It is as though it's like an engine has coked up and it's just not running well because it's been running too long on just tick over and it's like got covered in soot and coke. But what I'm going to do now, I don't care because I can get this aircraft repaired if I want. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link. I've already dropped my motherboard onto a chat or onto
Yeah, I do see that.
message.
I think you'll be able to run a 4060, but it might require a PCI Express slot that you don't have. So, but we'll know more once we get closer to the summer.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 2 minute. It's a 2 minute video of my Cryptex, and I'll be honoured if you just look through that because I was quite pleased at the way it worked. Except
All right, I'll take a look.
I can't get. Oh, there we are. Oh, I've clicked the wrong button. That's because I'm talking and I'm using my push to talk. Control key. Okay, stand by. We now have a finished. Okay, I've dropped a link to that YouTube video of my good self talking about this Cryptex thing that I've made. And it really did take quite a lot of effort and care because it's quite intricate to make, and you, as I said, you have to be as accurate as you can. Don't feel obliged to watch it. Don't worry. Don't feel obliged.
I'm watching it.
Oh, really?
Yep. I'm watching it. What happened to your finger?
It had an argument with the Chuck. Chuck won.
There's a flathead looking chick there.
Yeah, it gets a bit squished up in the
What the
egg.
hell happened to that thing?
Well, to get it in the egg takes a little bit
I'm
of
teasing.
persuasion. Yeah, yeah.
How long did that take him?
Actually, probably not that long. You'd have to add it up in hours, but I don't know how many. But there's also the thing about that centre section, the centre tube that's got the pins on it. It's daft as it seems. It's very difficult to get those pins in exactly the right places. I mean, you're talking parts of a millimetre. What I know, a smaller part of a 16th of an inch. In terms of accuracy, so that the pins get in the right place on the inside of the mechanism, and drilling them absolutely vertically through the tube. So they stand up vertically in the tube, they are in a straight line in the tube, and they are the right distances apart in the tube. That sounds that should be easy, but it actually isn't. And that tube you're seeing on that video was the second attempt at getting a tube that had the pins sticking up acceptably, straight in various ways. So there's a little bit of that. The handles are really just almost like cosmetic, really. You don't have to have the handles. They just make it easier and nicer. They're made of a wood called Purple Heart. It's really lovely wood. Really, yeah, it's really nice. And it is. It's like we get a nice piece. It's almost like the colour of beetroot. I assume you call beetroot the same thing as we call it.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's almost that colour. It's a beautiful wood. And the other bits, the two darker rings at the end of each end of the characters, that's walnut. So, but it's a lot of it is the accuracy and intricacy, and what you're seeing there doesn't show you what each ring looks like, because there's a recess on one side of the ring, there's a projection on the other side of the ring, and there's a little groove that the pin has to be able to slide through. A little U-shaped groove in the edge of the pin, which you can't see from all that.
Right.
So quite intricate, but really fulfilling. It's a really satisfying thing to do. I will make another one. That one's made for somebody, so not commissioned. They didn't ask me to make it, but I've decided to give it as a present. But I can imagine I'll make another one. But I tell you what, if I don't know how much. If you've done wood turning or how much, but it's a very therapeutic thing to do. It really is.
I have not done any. I've done some wood carving stuff growing up, but I did not do anything.
Well, wood turning, the beauty
with a turner or anything like that.
Yeah, the beauty of it is that I could put another little link on there so you can see what I'm talking about. But as you move the chisel across the wood, first of all, you start off with either a square chunk of wood in cross section, or maybe a log that's got bark on the outside. So it's all rough and uneven, and you move your chisel across, and you gradually bring it down to a nice cylindrical, if you like, piece of wood. And as you then move your chisel across to shape it, you see the profile change of the wood. When you look at the top of the wood, you see it change.
I've seen people make like table legs and stuff like
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very therapeutic to do it. It really is. Very messy, of course, but very, very therapeutic to do it.
All right, let's see some aerobatics.
Aerobatics? I've just turned my engine off because I was using fuel. Someone reminded me.
Hell.
Well, no. Also, look, it's 3 a.m. now. So, and I've been trying to be good. I have
check
been
for tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Or whatever.
But I don't know if I'm any good for aerobatics. I just fly it. I don't know the terminologies. People talk about yo-yos and
snap roll, corkscrew.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine what they are, but I don't know the terminologies. I'm really a shallow person in all that sense. I love a Spitfire, but I'm not a buff about a Spitfire. I love them. But I don't know that much about them. I don't study them. I'm shallow. Anyway, I think I will shove off now there, Warhawk. Thanks for joining us tonight, and maybe if you have the chance, catch you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. I'll probably be around tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be flying. But
Okay.
either way, I'll if Lax is streaming, I'll probably stop by.
Roger that. Okay, yeah, it'd be nice to chat. Okay, you take care, mate.
All right, you have a good night.
Yep.
Or good morning.
TTFN.